There's growing concerns that Australia may soon be facing a GP shortage, with new figures revealing nearly 10% of our nation's doctors are over 70 years of age. Well, now the peak body regulating doctors, along with the Medical Board of Australia, are considering a proposal to mandate health checks for doctors aged 70 and older. But there's fears that this is only going to increase strain on the system. The Royal Australian College of General Practitioners has slammed the move, describing the proposal as, quote, another regulatory burden unnecessarily imposed on the general practice profession without evidence to support effectiveness. Patrick, let me ask you, do you think this health check proposal, giving doctors over the age of 70 a regular checkup, do you think that's a good move?
Look, I can understand why the medical fraternity is pushing back on this, but if you look at the numbers, James, over the last few years, I think notifications, which are basically complaints against doctors who are older than 70, have increased by 81%, and the number of notifications for those older doctors between 2015 per year and 2023 have doubled. There was a reason for that, and actually understanding that reason, I think, might actually give us a lot more clarity. In the meantime, look, patient welfare is paramount. It has to be the highest priority. Doctors make life and death decisions every day. If they're making errors, then putting in place measures that mitigate those errors, perhaps, can't be a bad thing, can it?
All right, let me move on to a different subject. It's the new year. Many people will be planning overseas trips. But if you're thinking of going overseas this year, you might have to update your passport. And I can tell you, it's going to cost you. We'll be forced to pay $412 for a new 10-year passport from today, with indexation leading to a 3.5% price hike. Now, this will make Australian passports the most expensive in the world, followed by Mexico at $353.90 and the United States, where passports cost $252. Freya, what do you make of this? Overseas travel is expensive enough, isn't it, without the government then slamming you $412 for your passport?
Travel in Australia is becoming prohibitively expensive for most people, and I think that's a really sad thing. A lot of my friends, we're young, it's the thing. You go to Europe, you go to New Zealand, wherever, you backpack. That is a formative experience that people go through, but the cost of everything is going up in Australia, and passports is just another one of that. Aviation costs are through the roof, and I think this is the thing people need to understand about government spending. Labor has added $347 billion in spending since coming into government 2.5 years ago. That $347 billion, it doesn't just evaporate, it flows through the economy and pushes the prices of everything up, whether it's your GP, education costs, electricity, and now travel as well. So this is the result of a homegrown inflation crisis. Nothing is safe. Everything will be compromised by higher inflation, and that includes something as basic as your passport.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We are getting hit on every side by price hikes. I'm going to talk about Victoria a little later. New Year's Day in Victoria has brought a whole lot more taxes and increased prices. It's just unbelievable. I'll get to that a little later. But Freya and Patrick, thanks for joining me tonight. Happy New Year to both of you.